This is for Form 2 and Grade 8 student. If you are a Form 2 student, this is a topic you must know. It's also in Grade 8, so you are welcome. For those who did not understand that topic when they were in this level, they are also welcome. Okay? This topic on ratio, it's very important. Okay? Because like everything across the world, is we most of the time we share whatever we have in ratio. Okay? So this is for grade 8 and Form 2 students. Please share this widely to students, because today I'm going to teach you something important, a trick that you are going to only to take less than 10 seconds to identify which is an increasing ratio and which is a decreasing ratio. If you have ever been asked, identify an increasing ratio or a decreasing ratio, and you took more than 10 seconds, it means you did not understand the concept. The concept is very simple. You just need a procedure. You just need to understand. By the end of the lesson, you are going to agree with me that passing mathematics is possible for everyone. It is understandable for everyone. Mathematics is understandable for everyone. You are going to agree with me that everyone can understand mathematics. And I'm going to compare increasing ratio with decreasing ratio, so that you don't get confused. You will never confuse these two. Okay? That's why I've just drawn a table, so that I can compare increasing ratio and decreasing ratio. And to come to this point of comparison, you are able to compare if you understand the concept. So today I will help you understand the concept, and also help you, give you a procedure that is going to help you identify increasing ratio and decreasing ratio. You will not confuse the two again. That one, I assure you, by the end of the lesson, you will not confuse increasing ratio and decreasing ratio. Please trust me. Be with me up to the end of the lesson, and I am going to help you be able to identify increasing ratio and decreasing ratio. No more confusion from now on. To every student who is going to listen to my video, there will be no more confusion. Actually, you will be a teacher from now. You will teach your colleagues, your fellow students about this, because you will never confuse them again. So, on to the agenda of the day. How do you identify? How do you identify that this is an increasing ratio or a decreasing ratio? How do you identify? Okay. Let me show you how to identify. A simple procedure. I'm going to explain. Okay? I'm going to explain. Be patient. Forms, I'm using 2 pens so that for emphasis. Please note somewhere as we go together. Okay? Okay. We are saying here the first step to identifying an increasing ratio and a decreasing ratio is to convert the ratio into a fraction. you convert the ratio into a fraction. That is the first step. Okay? Let me do that. You are given a ratio like this one. Here you are given 5:7. Okay. Convert into fraction. Okay. You have been asked to identify an increasing ratio or a decreasing ratio. What do? You have been given a ratio. The first thing you should do is to convert that ratio into a fraction. Okay? Here you have been given 7:5. And here you have been given 5:7. Any ratio you have been given, just the first step is to convert the ratio into fraction. Let us do that. This one, when you convert it into fraction, it is 7/5. This one, when you convert it into fraction, is 5. It is 5/7. Okay? So, when you convert ratio 7:5 into fraction, you will get 7/5. When you convert 5:7, the ratio 5:7, you will get 5/7. I hope you are with me up to that point. Okay? You are with me up to that point. The first thing is to convert that ratio you have been given into a fraction. If a ratio forms, if you convert this ratio into a fraction and it forms an improper fraction, that is an increasing ratio. Like in this case, 7:5. We convert it into fraction, we get 7/5. This is an improper fraction. I know every student in grade 8 and in form 2 knows what is an improper fraction and what is a proper fraction. 7/5 is an improper fraction. So it is an increasing ratio. Let's get here, okay? You have been given a ratio 5:7. You have converted this ratio into a fraction. Does it form an improper fraction or a proper fraction? It forms a proper fraction. That is why this is a decreasing ratio. Decreasing ratio forms a proper fraction, and increasing ratio forms an improper fraction. So, if you want to identify whether this ratio is an increasing ratio or a decreasing ratio, you just need to do one thing: convert the ratio into a fraction. That is the only thing you should do. Convert the ratio into a fraction. See whether the ratio forms a proper fraction or an improper fraction. If it forms a proper fraction, this is a decreasing ratio. If it forms an improper fraction, this is an increasing ratio. I hope you are with me up to that point. And just know that the first part, 7:5, the first part 7 is always the numerator, like we have seen. A fraction is written like this: numerator of a denominator. So 7 is numerator, 5 is, in this case, the first case, 7 is the numerator, 5 is denominator. Numerator, 5 denominator. Okay, in this case here, 5 is numerator in this case of a decreasing ratio. 5 is numerator, 7 is denominator. I hope now you will get it. Okay, I hope up to that point Now you understand the difference between decreasing ratio and increasing ratio. What we are doing right now is to help you identify an increasing ratio or a decreasing ratio. And you can agree with me now that you can take even less than 10 seconds, even 5 seconds to identify an increasing ratio and decreasing ratio. You agree with me now that those people who take even 1 minute to answer, to identify an increasing ratio or a decreasing ratio, it means they have not understood the concept. This is, you can agree with me, this is understandable for everyone. Everyone can understand what is an increasing, how to identify an increasing ratio and a decreasing ratio. I hope you are with me up to that point. Okay? And I have told you how to write, how to convert a ratio into fraction. The first part is the numerator, the second part is the denominator. The same case with decreasing ratio. The first part is numerator, the second part is denominator. Okay? When you are given any ratio, just convert it into a fraction. And you already know the first part is numerator, the second part is the denominator. Just ask yourself, does this form a proper fraction or an improper fraction? And now you are able to identify an increasing ratio or a decreasing ratio. Okay? The second thing, there is something I want to show you. This one will help you. This one will help you solve any question, any word problem on increasing ratio or decreasing ratio. You can be able now to solve any word problem when you know this concept. I told you mathematics is not about cramming. Okay? I told you mathematics is understandable for everyone, and as we go, as we learn together, you are going to agree with me that everyone can understand mathematics, and that is why this subject is compulsory up to high school, because we need it. We need to understand. It makes your mind sharp. Okay, so there is something I want to show you. This what I want to show you. It is something that will help you solve word problems on increasing ratio and decreasing ratio. Before even I do calculation, I want to help you understand something that will help you solve increasing ratio and decreasing ratio. This concept is similar for increasing ratio and decreasing ratio. Okay? We are doing now compare and contrast. Okay? This is similar for increasing ratio and decreasing ratio. This is not a difference. It is similar. Okay? So be attentive, because this is very important. You know, word problem is highly examinable. You'll always find word problems in your exam. So this is something you cannot fail to pay attention. Okay? So I want to show you something. Please pay attention. This is something that will help you solve any equation on decreasing ratio and increasing ratio. That is a word problem. So we have here, I will explain. This will help you solve word problems. You will be able to solve word problems when you understand this concept I am about to explain to you right now. Okay? In increasing ratio, the first part, when you are given a ratio, the first part is new, the second part is original. Even for decreasing ratio, maybe you have identified a ratio and you have seen this is a decreasing ratio. The first part is new and the second part is original. The first part is always new, the second part is original. If you have been given original price, you already know that the first part is new. Maybe they want you to look for, they want you to calculate the new price and you have the original price. You know the first part is new. So in the decreasing ratio, you have been given the new price, maybe the decreased price. Now they want you to find the original price. So the first part is new. This is the increased price. In this case, in increasing ratio, this is the increased price. In the decreasing ratio, this is the decreased price. Maybe you have been asked about price. This is the new, which is the increased. This is the new, which is the decreased. I hope you are understanding. I hope you understand the concept. Here my pen is behaving in a way. Okay, this is the increased. Okay, this is new, which is decreased. Okay, so if you are given word problem, you are told to, maybe in this case you have been asked to find the original price, you already know the first part is new. For this case of increasing ratio, the first part is the increased. The increased quantity can be increased, I don't know, it's according to the question you have been asked. So for decreasing ratio, the first part is the decreased. Maybe it is the decreased price is the decreased quantity. Then the second part is the original. Just note somewhere that the first part is always new. New is to original. New is to original. It doesn't matter whether it's an increasing ratio or a decreasing ratio. The first part is new, then the second part is original. New is to original. So I will do a question so that you can understand what I am saying. Maybe you have not understood, but you are going to understand. Listen to the video from the beginning. So I will do a question. Then you will, I know by the end of the lesson you are going to understand. I have already told you the trick that will help you solve any question, any word problem on increasing ratio and decreasing ratio. Listen to the video, okay? I've given you a trick that you will never fail any word problem on increasing ratio and decreasing ratio. Please listen to the video even before you come and listen to the calculation that I want to do. I want to compare this question with this question so that you can know the difference between increasing and decreasing ratio. But you already have the trick in mind. I believe that you have listened to the video and you already know that trick that will help you solve any word problem on increasing ratio and decreasing ratio. I hope you are with me up to that point, okay? So, let me read the question. This is for increasing ratio. A farmer harvested 150 bags in a certain season. In the next season, the yield was 200 bags. What was the ratio increase? So, the farmer harvested 150 bags in a certain season. Then in the next season, the yield was 200 bags. What is the ratio increase? What is the ratio increase? So, in every question, whether it is a decreasing ratio or an increasing ratio, I told you we start with new. We start with the new, then original. New, then original. We start with the new. I hope you can see, then original. Here you can agree with me, the new, in the next season, the yield was 200 grams, 200 bags, okay, sorry. In the next season, the yield was 200 bags. So the new is 200. Original, what is the original? It is 150. Okay. So our ratio is 200 is to 150. I want to simplify. 200 is to 150. I want to simplify. So when you convert this into a fraction, you get 200 over 150. Then you cancel. I want to simplify. By 5 it is 3, by 5 it is 4. So you get 4 over 3. Then you convert this fraction 4 over 3 into ratio. You get 4 is to 3. The only concept you need to understand here is that in increasing ratio, we start with new, then original, new, then original. The new is 200 in the next season, then the original is 150. So our ratio will be 4:3. I just simplified the ratio. 200 is to 150. Okay, let's come here. We also start with new, then original. We also start with new, then original. What is new? In the next season, the yield was 150 grams. Sorry, in the next season, the yield was 150 bags. So the new is 150. The new is 150. That is what is new. Then the original is 200. I want you to understand the concept of you start with the new, then original. If you understand that, any question on increasing and decreasing ratio, you will get the correct answer. So new and original. So new here, in this case of decreasing ratio, we can see in the next season the yield was 150 bags. It is 150 new, then the original is 200. So 150 is to 200. That is our ratio. But I want you to help me simplify this. You simplify the ratio. You can simplify the ratio, you convert it into a fraction, then simplify, or just simplify the way it is. So let's convert into a fraction, then simplify. 150 over 200 by 5 is 3, by 5 is 4. So 3 over 4, if you convert 3 over 4 into a ratio, it is 3:4. So our ratio is 3:4. I hope now you understand. The only concept you should understand here is that we start with new, then original. And it applies for increasing ratio and for decreasing ratio. The first part is new. The second part is original. When given any ratio, the first part is new, the second part is original. That is something you should always note somewhere. It should be in your mind. You just not need to cram questions. Don't even cram a question that you think they will bring a question like they will bring a farmer. They can bring even another person, not only a farmer. Don't cram questions. Just know the concept. Understand. What do I need to know so that I can be able to answer question on increasing and decreasing question, and decreasing ratio. What does the examiner need me to know? There is always something that they need you to know, okay? The only thing that they need you to know here, that we start with new, then original. Just write new, original, then identify what is new here, what is original. Then you are able to answer question on increasing and decreasing ratio. I hope you are with me up to that point. Okay?